Alright, yo, what's good, boys? What's good? My name's Aaron, or who broke my teeth? My bloody teeth. Who the fuck? Who? I got too many names. Alright, what's poppin' though? I'm gonna be taking you through how I made my most recent video that just got uploaded, probably, right? The Gun Devil animation, right? Uh, uh, I've been wanting to do more of these types of videos for a while now, but just never got around to it. But this video was a bit, I want to say, unique with how I made it. And I feel like it is a very good demonstration on how you can work smart, you can work fucking dumb, right? Where if you work smart, you can make really good videos in a very, very short amount of time, right? So I'm gonna be kind of walking you through how I do this shit, and maybe you can learn a thing or two. Who knows? Let's get cooking. So the premise is right, the Gun Devil, right? So my first step before I even really had a video in mind of what I was gonna make, I made this guy, right? My workflow with this was I started inside a iPad app actually called Nomad Sculpt, Nomad 3D, something like that, right? It's just your standard modeling tool, right? But I like the iPad. So if I could do something on the iPad, I'll do something on the iPad, right? I just really like just how easy it is to use. So yeah, I made the original sculpt on the iPad. Then I brought it into Cinema 4D to retopologize it. And what that is it's essentially turning a very high polygon source into something low poly. So you can, it's easier to animate, easier to UV unwrap. It's easier, right? So you're not working with 10 million polygons, you're working with like 100K, right? Right. So that was the first two steps. Then I had to UV unwrap it, and then I painted it with Substance Painter. I did most of that on my stream, by the way, twitch.tv/who broke my teeth. Quick little plug. He's decently complicated. There is some spots where I wish I put more time and effort into it, but I only had 2 weeks to make this video, right? Because it is for an editing tournament, right? So I only had 2 weeks, so I spent my first week working on modeling this, and then I had 1 week left to make the rest of the video. So I had to be creative with how I tackled the rest of the video if I wanted to actually, get the video in. So I'll be going through how I used this 3D model combined with, guess what? Stock footage. Wow. Right? To really give it that professional polish and feel. And that looks really good when you put everything together. So let's go to After Effects. All right, so this shot right here, right? It's pretty. This was the first shot I worked on, and kind of where I decided that I was really going to use this method for pretty much the entire video, right? So this is what it looks like in the final. And then, like I said earlier, I used stock footage. So this is what I used. It's just some stock footage of some buildings, right? And when working with this method, you kind of have to almost be storyboarding / planning out the video while you're scrolling through stock footage, right? As you're just looking for this stuff, because, you can't always find the perfect stock footage. So you kind of have to be lenient with how you do your shots, right? So I found this video fit perfectly for the shot I wanted, right? Perfect. So I then just brought it into Cinema 4D. I used the default camera tracker, and I quite literally just put the Gun Devil inside of the scene, right? So it just matches the camera movement and everything. Then from there, I rendered out the Gun Devil just by himself, right? Let me find the composition. Right? Here it is. So the Gun Devil, he is on his own layer, right? And I used a bunch of color correction stuff. You can see here to really blend him into the scene. And then I really just, not that difficult, just dropped him into the scene, right? I mean, this is pretty standard practice for, I guess, more VFX artists, right? So this is really a method I haven't really messed around with. I was very surprised on just how easy it is to like make it look good, right? Because this, with like everything on top of it, it looks pretty good. It looks like original, like it was meant for it, right? It's really just about playing into the stock footage more than anything else, right? Like you can have a base idea, but you don't want to temper with the stock footage because that is all very grounded. And it's very hard to mess with that stuff. So yeah, it's very important to just really work with the stock footage, not against it, and your shots will be phenomenal. So yeah, I layered them on top. I added a bunch of like I guess like effects. Like I've got a little bit of dirt right here. You can kind of see the circles right here. And then I have like just a bunch of glows and stuff, right? Just to really blend it in. And then I have my overall color correction and grading on top of that to really just cement it and blend all the colors together. And this shot turned out fantastic. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And keep in mind, after modeling, these shots took like half hour to make, right? Very, very easy. Very easy. You just got to work with what you have and you'll make something cool. Those are kind of like the main points I wanted to point out. Everything else is pretty standard stuff in this video. Like for this, I just did some basic MoGraph, threw it in Cinema 4D, and then just added some displacement on top of it. But yeah, that is, I mean, that's pretty much it. A bit of a short breakdown, but that is the main concepts that really let me, you know, make this video. There was a couple shots, or it's really just these two opening shots. Where are they? This shot and this shot were full 3D, right? Because they were very simple, not a lot of cities. I just had to make the character, add the hair, add the background, camera movement, lighting. Very simple stuff in terms of 3D versus creating like an entire city like this. I think this is the last shot I want to touch on for this. It's exact same thing, right? The original stock footage, right? I camera tracked it. I found some characters. For the main character, I actually removed her hair and I applied my own hair. You can kind of see it move like more realistic simulated hair, right? It's got those nice highlights on the top. So I simulated her hair, but everyone else's, they're just very boring 3D models that I just put in the scene and camera tracked it. And I just matched the lighting to the stock footage, add some motion blur, some God rays, some glows. And when you put it together, it just looks very, very professional, right? Like, it just works. You just gotta work with what you're given and just be smart with it. Don't stick to the same shit. Try to get creative with it, and it'll be amazing, amazing. So yeah, that is pretty much all I really want to talk about. If you're interested in getting the Gun Devil model for whatever reasons you might want, it's on my PayHip, payhip.com/whobrokeMyTeeth. So yeah, little plug at the end. But yeah, kind of just want to make this video just to like kind of elaborate on how I made it. Hopefully it can help you guys out. Never know. All right, take it easy.